Hey, Joe Phillips here with Central Park Scoop and Focus Real Estate. I'm here with Winston, and we are in the Stanley Marketplace in the local drive, the third location of their golf-related business that they're building out in the Hangar. Allie from Stanley is behind the camera. She was nice enough to invite me to get a little sneak peek with Winston, one of the owners, as they kind of do their mad dash scramble in this last month or so to get open. So we're gonna do a little tour of the place, hear about it from Winston, and it's messy because they're in this finishing phase, so just expect that up front. So Winston, just give us a little high-level overview of like what the business is and what you'll be offering here in Stanley.
Okay, so the local drive, as you mentioned, this is our third location. This is, if anybody's been to our other ones, this is quite a bit bigger of a project. It's kind of, in my mind, the natural expansion of what we started at, and I use the term entertainment in this entertainment space. So the business it's a golf simulator cocktail bar, but it's more focused around, giving people something to do while they want to go out and socialize. So while we have 12 golf bays, we have a private room. We're going to expand on that, and we've built out a full-blown pro shop. We have a much larger main area. We've converted the large hangar door, if you're familiar with the neighborhood and everybody recognizes it. We put some nice fun colors on it. We've actually made it to where it can expand even larger than it used to when it was just an event space, and are now going to put a 12,000 square foot patio out there, full turf, to one oversized sand volleyball court and a stage, live music. The goal is to have it pretty much Thursday to Saturday, live music, comedy nights, things like that. Just other ways to bring entertainment into the space and into the Stanley.
All right, I love it. I'm really excited. Mediocre golfer, but I'm excited about golf, and I love having a place, especially in the colder months, to go and practice and hit and enjoy the Trackman simulators.
Yep.
So we're here at like the mezzanine level of the place. Why don't we just start to take a little tour? You can show us around and just kind of give us the lay of the land.
And as you mentioned, we're at the end, but we're not quite there yet. So we're missing a few tables, chairs. The furniture is semi where it's supposed to be, but things will still move around a little bit. But we added a second floor into the mezzanine, or into the hangars. So if anybody's been here before, they'll notice that, all of a sudden we have two floors here. One of my favorite parts of this space is actually the floor itself. This is a 104-year-old maple wood that we were able to pull out of a rail car from the Roaring 20s. And so the entire floor is covered with this maple wood from 1922 or 1921. And so I think that's one of my favorite parts. Up here is 7 golf simulators. They're all the exact same size. They're all oversized, and 5 on this side. The 2 that are on the other side are set up with a bit more of an intimate setting, so you're able to, bring a group of friends, 10, 12, 14 people, and kind of have a private area, so to speak, while not being in the fully private room.
I love it. So you're set up for individuals, little walk-in groups, but also larger groups that may want to rent space.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So this place is built to be modular in the sense that a large portion of our business is actually private events, corporate events. We have a couple of weddings. We have a bat mitzvah. We actually hosted a prom a couple weeks ago. If you can believe it, we completely stripped the place out and had a prom here a few weeks ago for, I believe, was it Adams County High School?
That's amazing.
We have a concert here in a couple of weeks on Ryan, I think it's the 7th. We have an orchestra concert coming in, and so we designed this place to be very convertible and/or able to handle basically anything. So like you're getting on, it can take individuals, we can take 10-person groups, we can go all the way up to, I think the largest event we have booked is a 900-person wedding. Wow. So
I love the flexibility. When you have an asset this big, you gotta make it work for a lot of things.
Yep.
Let's take a peek into this kind of semi-private bay over here.
Yep.
I love how open it is, and all
so
the greenery you've been adding.
Yeah, the idea with this area is that it's going to be somewhat of a more loungy area. People like to be up high, at least I know I do.
Yeah.
Right. Rooftop balcony bars are some of the most popular because people just enjoy being up high. So this area here gives you that feeling, especially when the door's open. When you're sitting down, you can see the Rockies through the door. Yeah. So again, these were set up to be, more of a party atmosphere or large party atmosphere.
Okay. Take us downstairs. Let's see the main level, and then pop outside a little bit too.
Let's come around this way because it's one of my favorite views of the chandeliers. So as you mentioned, a lot of the greenery that we've added One of them being these chandeliers. So I'm very proud of these. These are fully custom built. Myself, my wife, our team, and a lot of our friends spent a couple of weekends filling this full of installation, putting in all the different greenery, and then even hanging them up. So
it's impressive.
Thank you.
It looks great.
Yeah, I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, you should be.
If you turn the corner here, another thing we added is actually this faux live wall.
Yeah.
Again, just another way to kind of soften the space. It is a very industrial place, right? We're in an aircraft hangar, so one of the things we wanted to do is make sure that if there is, you're in here with 20 or 30 people, say at 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, because we're going to open fairly early for the golfers, it doesn't feel like you're standing in a cavern.
Yeah.
So this helps achieve that by softening it and bringing some warmth to the space.
And golf is green, and it all makes sense with your theme.
So as you come down here, the main area on the first floor is going to be mostly all seating area. You can see we're in the middle of assembling. I think we're upwards of 150 pieces of furniture at this point. So
yeah,
it's been quite a project. But this area down here will be mostly all seating area, and then we'll have a couple of pool tables.
When do you plan to be open? And I know that's
a loaded question.
We specifically want to answer, but in general, when can people expect to start using the place?
You can expect to see this open towards the end of this month, early next month. We're still ironing down those last little details. We do have all of our permits, so really it's just making sure we don't have any last minute snafus, supply chain issues, things like that. But within the next 2 to 3 weeks, you should expect to see the doors open. And then if you follow us on social media or any of the other social media, Stanley Marketplace channels, things like that, we'll be announcing with enough lead time for everybody the grand opening, live music, make a huge party out of it.
How does food work in here? You're also offering food, or do people bring food from other places in Stanley? How does that work?
Great question. So none of our locations really have food. We have some small bites, some sandwiches, things like that in our other ones, but because the Stanley has such an incredible array of food options, we're not going to have anything in here other than some like pub mix and popcorn, things, some just like salty treats that are complimentary. But if you want to have food, you can bring it in. So we're already working with probably all the names Rolling Smoke, the Beer Hall, Miyazaki, Chilin, all those Rosenbergs on facilitating the ability for them to either have it delivered into the space, depending upon the time of day, or the ability for the customer to order it from our menus or from their menus in our space. And then all they'd have to do is go out and grab it, come back in.
And then alcohol, clearly you've got covered because you've got multiple bars spread throughout the space.
Yep, so there's a main bar on the first floor, which I'll show you, which we're very proud of. The bar we walked by on the second floor, and then there'll be a cans only bar on the patio. As I said, the main area here is mostly seating. One thing that is missing that'll be pretty fun for everybody, I think, once it gets installed, is we're building a full-size tree right here. So about right where I'm standing is going to be an 18-foot tall tree that we're going to put an array of branches around that should be about a 20-foot diameter canopy. And then put fake greenery in that, and then hang some dangly lights from it. Again, it's a way for us to lower the ceiling, bring some warmth into the space, but not ruin the sight lines from the second floor. And
I love it.
It's kind of just fun to put a tree inside of an aircraft hangar.
You guys are really creative in a lot of the little details.
Thank you.
All right, where to next?
All right, so down here is the 4 more golf bays. Right here is the pool tables are going to go. We'll have 3 or 4 pool tables, probably ball, a few other things like that. Just again, more entertainment concepts or more forms of entertainment, more things. So if you're not a golfer, you still have something to do.
Perfect. So even if you don't have a bay rented or anything, you're welcome to come in, get a drink, play the games, or just like hang out and enjoy the environment?
Correct. Actually, that's what this first floor, we want more of it. So upstairs is, you could tell, is very golf centric. There's not a lot of square footage that's not dedicated to the golf simulators. The downstairs is the exact opposite. We want this to be far more about socializing. This is far more about just providing a really cool entertainment and event venue for people.
What is this space over here?
All right, so over here, as you come this way, is where the pro shop will be. So we currently work with ParHopper, which is a clothing company out of Aurora. They're about 4.5 years old, really cool apparel company. And then we work with Shrixon Cleveland a handful of other brands that everybody will be familiar with. So this will be a retail area for that.
I love
it. In here you'll expect to see golf clubs for sale, polos, hats, gloves. We do a lot of custom apparel. Actually almost everything we sell is our custom apparel.
Okay.
And so you'll have all that, but you'll have Nike joggers, you'll be able to buy golf clubs.
Yeah.
Hoping to work with a handful of the vendors actually in the Stanley to come up with things that we can offer in here that would complement and drive people to the retail businesses in the Stanley.
Great.
Along with the food.
I love all those connections with the larger marketplace.
One of our favorite parts of the building, which is the VIP room. So this is, if you notice the decor in the main area is modern, it's minimalist, it's far more, I guess modern is the best word for it, contemporary. This is the polar opposite. We want this to feel very Scotland in 1880s, right? Like birth of golf. So it's tufted leather chairs, it's tartan plaid carpets. The bar top itself is actually buffalo hide leather with brass tacks around it. There's going to be a burlwood elk head that just got made that I'm going to mount onto the wall behind you there.
Yeah.
Sitting on the sofa right now. And then the largest golf simulator screen that Trackman has ever installed outside of their headquarters in Copenhagen. So this will be a pretty special place and is going to be a rentable room, private room, comes with your own speakers, you can control your own Spotify channel, so it really is a completely private environment. You'll have the ability, if you want, to even have your own private bartender come in here. Think renting the private room at the Capitol Grill Steakhouse or something like that, where they come back and they'll carve the tomahawk tableside. Same thing here. If you want, we can have a bar cart come in with a bartender, private menu, make it a very exclusive experience.
Yep. All right, let's take it outside. Let's give us a quick overview of that, and then we'll wrap this up.
Okay, perfect.
Memberships. So obviously you can like rent bays by the hour or whatever, or just come in and hang out and not even be playing golf. How do memberships work if people are like, I'm a regular golfer, I want to come in and play all the time?
You want me to open the hangar doors? We go outside?
Yeah, I want to see how that works. That'd be cool.
So the answer to that is we do have memberships, and the special thing about ours is they're reciprocal across all locations. So if you live, say, in the Park Hill neighborhood, or I guess even Central Park West, where Rhino is, we're 7 miles from Rhino. If you're in Central Park West or Park Hill, you're 3 or 4 miles, so you're kind of almost equidistant.
Okay.
And so if you work downtown, you can use the membership at Rhino after work and then come here on the weekends.
Great.
And so our memberships are, like I said, reciprocal across all locations. They work by basically you have 90 minutes a day to play.
Okay.
Any day of the week except for Saturdays. Those are blackout days.
Yeah.
And finite time. And so typically from open till 4, and then Sunday all day. And so it's quite a lot of time to play golf. So really you come 3 or 4 times in a month, it's paid for itself.
Perfect.
And then we do corporate memberships. Those are far more bespoke. And then the cool thing about the Stanley is that because there's Open Air Academy next door and a few other things that open a lot earlier than most businesses do, we're looking at probably expanding our hours to be open earlier than the 9 a.m. start that our other locations have in this facility.
Yeah.
Might be open 1 or 2 days a week at like 7.
Okay, let's open this giant airplane hangar door.
So all the panels will open, and then this panel could go that way. I won't do all that today. So this will be the biggest change people will see hopefully in the neighborhood over the next couple of weeks. The curb got poured and finished on Friday. The sand will be delivered for the volleyball courts next week, and then this entire area here is going to be covered in turf. The crane house that used to be where they'd unload flatbed trucks with airplane parts is going to be converted into a permanent stage. Goal is to have live music, comedy shows, things like that out there. And then the rest of the area that's covered in turf will have cornhole boards, all the Adirondack chairs you might have seen inside the space walking around earlier will be out here, and it'll be a very just relaxing environment. Very colorful, bright, a mix between Cancun and Key West.
I love it. How would the volleyball work? Is that like first come, first serve, or are you like organizing?
The goal
things?
is that it's first come, first serve. Hopefully everybody, nobody hogs the court too much.
Yeah.
We are going to do leagues the same way that we do golf leagues. We already have that facility. We already have that infrastructure set up.
Okay.
Because we host monthly golf leagues. So the goal is to do the same thing here. We've already talked with a handful of the volleyball associations that are in Aurora. They're
Yeah.
already interested in renting the court out. So if the court is not being rented by something like that or used for a league, it'll just be open to the public.
Okay.
And ideally, pretty much, if the doors are open and it's a nice day outside, the court will be open.
Yeah.
So you can come play at 9 a.m. or come play at 10 p.m.
I love it.
It'll be lit as well, so you'll be able to play late on a Friday night.
Cool.
Still enjoy it.
Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the little sneak peek, under construction tour. Thank you for showing us around.
Of course.
I think it's one of the coolest, most exciting new assets coming to the whole area. I love it. Very excited. So thanks for having us. I appreciate it.